The noblest animals on Earth. These creatures have been man's friend for ages, which he has used to move from one place to the other. Still, there are numerous facts about horses that many people probably don't know. Horses are usually big creatures, but some of them are super
Number
huge.
10. Goliath. At some point, Goliath was the tallest horse in the world, standing at 6 feet 5 inches. This horse is a species of the Percheron draft and measures 2 times more than the median equines. Goliath weighed 2,500 pounds and belonged to Prefert Ranch Equipment of Mount Pleasant. Goliath's weight seemed to deter him from grazing because his neck was short. Reaching grass on the ground was, therefore, a difficult task. Goliath had to recline his legs apart in a foal-like manner to feed on grass. Goliath consumed 20 gallons of water, 40 pounds of hay, and 18 pounds of grain. During his reign, he made approximately 150 promotional presentations and traveled more than 40,000 miles in his customized horse trailer annually. Goliath holds the 2005 Guinness World Record for the tallest horse living. The horse died from natural causes in his abode at the Prefert Ranch in 2001. Prefert Ranch Equipment described him as a southern gentleman due to his work ethic, kindness, and charm. The Daily Tribune reports that Goliath was born in Alberta, Canada on March 28, 1992. Number 9. Radar. Radar, a pretty Belgian draft horse, was born in 1988. The horse weighed 2,300 pounds and stood at 19 hands and 3.5 inches. Radar was one of the Guinness Book of World Record holders for the tallest horse living. The horse would later pass away from natural causes on the 5th of October 2016 at the Prefert Ranch in Mount Pleasant, Texas. According to the Prefert Ranch, the horse was purchased in 2006. Radar assumed a celebrity status after winning the Guinness title, which saw him traverse through the country, making numerous stops at Prefert-sponsored events and Prefert dealers. The pinnacle of his celebrity status was when he appeared on Extreme, the TV show, and at Oprah's Today Show. He would later make a special guest appearance at Breyerfest. Out of this, a limited edition Breyer model in his resemblance was made. During his reign, Radar met numerous equine fanatics and admirers who were thrilled to be in his presence. Prefert's marketing director Courtney Dyer had kind words to say about Radar. She described him as a playful and kind-spirited creature who loved people. Bill Prefert, the owner, said that Radar was a gentle giant who would not only be missed by his family, but by his entire company, too. Number 8. Cracker. Cracker was born in Somerset at Cricket St. Thomas. He made his debut in Lincolnshire in 1992 and immediately gained popularity among the people that he met. His inaugural public outing was in the Berg Railway Museum, where he amazed various visitors with his confidence, aura, immense obedience, and driving presentation. So impressive was Cracker that he received his preliminary commendation letter on his first day out. This horse was majestic and big, and often received Christmas cards and mail from his fans. He was resilient, and nothing seemed to bar him from excelling other than a horse box. He was undeterred, and in his lifetime, he coped with different situations. For instance, he made an appearance in a funeral during the stinging cold winds of December in Skegness. Further, he journeyed twice to London. In 2007, he was at Granada Television Studios, while in 2001, he was at the Leicester Square. Cracker was not only patient, but he also exuded a compelling presence. This horse never showed signs of illness until sometime in 2007. He responded well after treatment, but later died the same year. Cracker was born in 1989. Number 7. Remington. Remington once held the Guinness World Record of tallest living horse in the world in 2009. The Clydesdale horse species from Princeton drank 40 gallons of water and consumed 2 bales of hay daily. The horse measured approximately 6 feet 8 inches from hoof to shoulder. Remington had a blog, and from a quick glance, it's evident that he had a huge personality when he lived. Remington measured 20 hands without shoes and was owned by Cheryl Davis. Number 6. Tina. Tina, an English Shire horse from Neota, Tennessee, was approximately 6 feet 4 inches tall when she was measured, according to the owners, Marge and Jim Williams. That was slightly an inch below the record, which was then held by Radar, the Guinness Book of World Records reports. Tina was 3 years then, and with lots of growing awaiting her, the owners were optimistic that she would soon break the world record. The owners said that since Tina's parents were tall, she was highly likely to overgrow them. This horse was the same species as Samson, the one-time world record holder horse. According to her owners, Tina was so huge such that her steps produced the sound of thunder while the ground shook from her gallops. When Tina's owners bought her, they were looking for a pulling horse. However, they noticed that she was growing rapidly, which saw them modify the barn from the normal 12 by 12 feet to 12 by 24 feet. The Shire species horse is said to be gentle and a people pleaser. Tina holds the 2008 Guinness Book of World Records as the tallest horse in the world. Number 5. Big Jake. Big Jake first made it to the headlines in 2012 when he became the tallest horse in the world according to the Guinness Book of World Records. The Belgian species horse was purchased as a young 3-year-old horse. The owner noticed the horse's rapid growth from the start. Big Jake was a huge 240-pound foal, complete with excellent genetics according to its owner. When he was around 8 years old, his family was convinced that he was among the tallest horses in the world. Having kept horses their entire life, the family understood how unique Big Jake was. They would later, in 2010, get in touch with Guinness when the horse was around 9 years old. A team from Guinness measured Big Jake, and he stood at 20 hands, 2.75 inches, and immediately became the tallest living horse. The median height of a Belgian species horse often falls between 16 and 17 hands. After the feat, Jerry Gilbert was quoted saying, "I've always been interested in the Guinness Book of Records ever since I was a kid. I just never dreamed I'd actually own a horse that would be in there." Number 4. Poe. In 2010, Poe stood at 6 feet 10 inches, which is 20.2 hands. The owner, Shireen Thompson, was convinced beyond reasonable doubt that the horse was the tallest in the world, seeing that it was already taller and twice as big as the reigning Guinness Book of World Records holder then. Poe weighed 200 stone. The Clydesdale species horse lived on Shireen's ranch in Tupperville, Ontario, Canada. The horse consumes 10 pounds of grain, 2 bales of hay, and drinks 75 gallons of water daily. According to Shireen, she rescued the horse in 2008 and named it after her ideal rider, Edgar Allan Poe. Initially, Poe worked as a pulling horse in London. Shireen says that Poe graced various local fairs where she acted like an actual puppy. Still, Shireen noted, the horse would often drag her as though he wanted them to play some chasing games. Initially, Clydesdale horses were bred in Lanarkshire in the late 18th century and can grow up to 5 feet 4 inches at the shoulder. Number 3. Sovereign. In 2011, Sovereign, a 2-year-old foal, was underweight and neglected. No one would have imagined that the horse would grow to staggering heights and perhaps proceed to smash world records. However, Paul Evans rescued the horse and took care of it. Sovereign would later become the tallest horse in Britain, standing at slightly below 21 hands between its hoof and the withers just below its neck. In general, it was a whopping 10 feet aloft the ground. Paul, who is a horse carriage entrepreneur in Warrington, Staffordshire, is proud to own Sovereign. He opines that Sovereign is an impressive horse with an inspiring story. He further says that while the horse was malnourished and filthy when he first set eyes on him, he noted that he was kind, and inside his eyes was a gleam of light despite his suffering. Paul admits that getting Sovereign back into shape and good health was no easy feat. He struggled to tame the horse, and convincing him to trust humans again took a lot of effort. Paul is glad that he was patient with the horse, which would later grow to weigh over a ton. The horse consumed 8 kilos of corn and hay daily, and lived harmoniously with his Shire horse friends in his 10-acre paddock. Paul was quoted as saying, "To see him now is just amazing. I never would have believed he'd grow into such a gentle and magnificent Shire horse." His ability to trust after his abuse is measured only by his actual size. Number 2. Samson. Samson was a Shire gelding species horse foaled in Toddington Mills, Bedfordshire in 1846. He was the heaviest and tallest horse ever documented. As a 4-year-old, Samson stood at 220 centimeters high, which prompted his owner to rename him Mammoth. Samson's weight was said to be approximately 1,524 kilograms. By the time Samson was gelded at a 1.5 years, his testicles were the size of a soccer ball. Number 1. Brooklyn Supreme. Brooklyn Supreme, also known as Brookie, was a red-roan Belgian species horse foaled in 1928 in a Minnesota farm of Earl Brown, Minneapolis. He was popularly known for his humongous size. Some horse enthusiasts believed that Brooklyn Supreme could be the largest horse in the world, even though it wasn't tall. The horse weighed 3,200 pounds and was 19.2 feet tall. His girth was 10 feet 2 inches, and his shoes needed 30 inches of iron. Prior to gaining tremendous weight, the horse had been crowned grand champion in numerous state fairs. Regardless of his weight, Brooklyn Supreme was gentle and derived pleasure from stealing goodies and cream cones from unwary little girls.